some of the most fun things about travel is reading the billboards and occasionally stumbling upon, what is this? A brown sign. Homolovi Arizona State Park? What the hell is that? I didn't know either. But it sounds interesting, and when I discover a brown sign on the side of the road, what I do is I pull over and I investigate quick. Is it worthy of my time? Does it hit a interest point of mine? Let's check it out. Bathroom, showers, dump station. We're in. Let's go. So just got off the freeway to pull over. I don't have a co-pilot, so I got to do this on my own. The ruins is to the left. We're actually going to go to the right because I don't know how far away this is. And then we're going to show you how I set up my campsite, so you don't want to miss that. This is going to be shocking to some of you. All right, I'm going to just type in the Homolovi State Park right here. You see that? See how far away is first. Okay, it's only a 4-minute drive off the freeway. We can probably deal with that. Now let's touch this and see what we actually get. So State Park, preserving 300 ancestral Puebloan archaeological sites. That's kind of cool. Let's just hit the website here and take a look at what it is. So they have camping with RVs. Wonder if I could even get in on day of without a reservation. View all programs and events. Hopi Camping Explorer. What do you think? History. All right, the fact that it's 3 minutes from my current place, we're gonna go check it out. It looks kind of cool. I wouldn't necessarily say I would be going if this was 20 miles away, but since it's 3 minutes, let's go check it out. We're gonna close up the iPad and get back in the driver's seat. And there we go. And let's go check this out. What I'm hoping to do is actually find an overnight spot at the campground, because I'm in between a reservation in Gallup, New Mexico, and I've just actually urban camp, street camping that is, in Winslow. So I've got a day to kill and a night with no plans, so why not check this out? Yeah, let's go. There's the navigation sign saying turn left. Okay. Ranger on site. Very cool. I'm excited to see what this has in store. Anybody know what this is? Yeah, let me know. This is cool. Let's see the sign here. What to do and see. Visitor Center, major archaeological Mormon cemetery, hiking trails, campground with water, electric, tent, RV, bathroom, showers, dump station. We're in. Let's go. This is kind of a good example of why I do schedule reservations, but I schedule days off that would be without reservations, so that if I run across something cool, I've got a couple days to do that. And I'm really excited about this. What I'm super excited about is the night sky tonight. This being where it is, the light pollution is going to be very minimal, and to see a full night of stars, and there's just a new moon starting or ending, we should see some pretty serious stars tonight. All right, next stop is the visitor center to check out the camping situation. Worst case, it's a day pass, and we just go check out the ruins, right? I'm going to take the big old RV spot, even though I don't need to. Okay, let's go check out the deal. This is actually pretty interesting. Not exactly sure what we're looking at, but it's kind of a high plains desert. There's not a lot of vegetation. Is that where the people lived? I have no idea. Winslow is just over there. Flagstaff is way out in the distance, about an hour away. Cool looking visitor center. Cool gift shop on all kinds of Indian. Here's a bit of the history. This is what we're gonna go see apparently, which is pretty awesome. The Rangers have been really helpful. All right, great news. This is what I call a van life miracle. So here's what the deal is. I didn't have reservations. I just showed up. They have one spot available for tonight, and a non-electric site is what I asked for. I had options for an electric site. What that means is that non-electric means there was no electricity at the campsite itself. For me, that's cool because I don't need electricity because I have a lithium-equipped rig and it's going to be cool enough overnight. I don't need air conditioning. And what's really awesome is that they do not allow generators at the non-electric sites. I've been to state parks before where people are trying to save a few bucks, but then they run their generator. Bad RV etiquette. So what the deal is here, it's $18 for a non-electric site, which I have. There is water at the site. There's a dump station. And if you want the full hookup situation, it's 25 bucks. So I'm excited to check this out. So we're going to go look at the sites, and then we're going to show you how I set up my campsite, so you don't want to miss that. All right, I'm going to be in site 44, good for one night. Let's look at the map here and see where we're going. See a little bit about the history. So we are right here at the visitor center. The campground is over here. So I think we'll do is go the furthest point out here. So you drive, then you walk, and we'll come back here. And then on the way to the campground, we're going to hit the where the Sunset Cemetery. This is the Mormon cemetery. I don't think I've ever been to a Mormon cemetery. Have you? And then we'll move into camp and check out is at noon. So if that person is there, they've got a little bit of time left before we get there. I am super excited. Headed to Homolovi, what a funny name, number 2, which is this way. And can you tell me what this is? Maybe it's to knock the mud off your tires. All right, no traffic, let's go. So I asked the ranger to give me a little lay of the land here in terms of what we're looking at. This used to be underwater a gazillion years ago, and over time the water seceded, and this is what we have to look at. What the flat parts out here are, let me zoom in for you. That is actually the seabed where there was ocean, and it's eroded since then, and that's why we have these peaks standing up kind of off the current valley floor. But way out in the distance over here, you can see way out in the distance there, kind of poking up on the horizon, that, he said, are actual volcanic structures. But that everything we're seeing around here is actually seabed and the effects of erosion bringing some of that forward for us to see today. Pretty cool. Great thing about a Class B RV that's 21 foot in length or less is that we can fit in a parking spot like a normal car. And I'm going to park right here so that my rear end of the van is in the sun, which keeps the sun out of the cab, which makes a huge difference. All right, huge difference in temperature management. All right, let's go check these things out. Sorry for the sunglasses, put them on. It's kind of sunny out here today. The weather's absolutely beautiful. It's the low 70s, and it's going to be low 60s tonight. So even though the van's going to get kind of warm, during the day it's going to cool off, and no air conditioning needed. It's so awesome. Ants are having a fun day. What's great is the trail is concrete, paved, if you will. Really easy. I think it's just up over this hill. This is what we're going to see over the top of the hill here, but a little history lesson. Around AD 1330, a group of people arrived from the Hopi Mesa, 60 miles north, drawn to the area by the lush floodplain of the Little Colorado River. They built a 1,200-room village. 750 to 1,000 people lived in this pueblo. They were farmers, and they still come back to their ancestral land today to pay homage. And here is some of the ruins. A typical room used for domestic activities would have slab-lined floor pits for cooking, heating. So much of these found here. The back wall, directly in front of you, contains a sealed doorway. Can you find it? Oh yeah. Pretty amazing. Lots of ruins you can see out there, right? Let's go this way. You were standing in the oldest section of the pueblo, the Central Plaza. At one time, The room surrounding the plaza may have stood as high as 3 stories. Not much left of it today, but you can definitely see these organized piles of masonry, rock work. Okay, we're just coming to the top of the hill. Wait till you see this. This is a vista. Holy cow. You can see where the rooms would have went out this way. But look at that if you had a view. Out your Pueblo bedroom. This looks pretty important. What are we looking at here? Well, this is one of the kivas, and the State Park Service preserved this vandalized kiva. It's 19 by 32 by 6 foot deep. The pit near the south end of the structure is a hearth, and a small stone wall deflects and circulates fresh air coming in from under the bench. The large pit at the north end of the kiva may have represented a symbolic hole of the emergence. And if we look at the structure, they were actually covered, made to keep them out of the sun and the rain. And they used the ladder to get in and out of, probably some ventilation holes, what they were talking about. Pretty cool. As cool as that is, I'm going to stick with my camper van. What do you think? Looking into the desert, you see the green line that kind of goes all up here and around. This is the Little Colorado. And it was a year-round source of water. Even when dry, water can be found a few feet below the sand, supporting all kinds of plant, animal, and people. You know, one of the greatest things about having a camper van RV is? That is, I brought my toilet with me. Excuse me. Love it! All right, we're way up here. We're gonna head back to the ranger area and then go see the Sunset Cemetery right here. And then we're gonna head to camp. I'm excited to show you how I set up camp. So there's the van. What in the heck am I doing up here? Well, I remember the ranger telling me that there's a site with lots of petroglyphs. So that's what we're doing, is we're hunting for some petroglyphs, and I see one right here. Hard to make out what it is, but definitely a man-made situation there. And on this rock right next to it. Let's go see what else we can find. Look at these cool rocks. Right? It looks like layers of mud. Compressed. Cracked. And as we know, that's in fact what it was. Ancient seabed. I just love this stuff. But guess what? We've hit the end of the trail, which is okay. But if we look down here, what do we see? Human intervention on a rock. A little petroglyph there. And I saw another one up here. Let me show you. Is that the petroglyph? No, no, no. That is indication that there is wild, feral burros out here. If you've been around my channel at all, you know that me and burros don't get along very well. I was harassed in the middle of the night on BLM land by burros. What I want to show you here, though, is the petroglyph. Kind of hard to make out, but nonetheless, a human etching on rock. I don't know, a few 100 million years ago? Not that long ago, actually. So awesome. All right, back to the van. Let's hit the Mormon cemetery. All right, let's go see some graves. Lock. Little history lesson here. Back in January 1876, Brigham Young, president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, announced a plan to establish Mormon colonies in the Arizona Territory. A number of families did the calling And this is kind of how the plot laid out. The problem is the nature wasn't really good to them. They lived collectively, property was held in common. Men did the obvious things, the women did the obvious things. They faced many hardships, including drought, disease, floods that destroyed their dams and fields. Many families lost loved ones that were laid to rest in this cemetery. By 1888, Sunset Fort was entirely abandoned. The buildings were eventually slipped away by a river. So about 12 years. And this is all that's left. This way to Sunset Cemetery. Many of the locals are telling me they're having kind of earlier than normal monsoons. And what that means is that the desert is alive with flowers and vegetation. Let me show you this. This is cool. Obvious daisy looking things. Here's a yellow one that's super pretty. Right there. But look at this. They look like pods filled with water or something, huh? So interesting. Let's keep moving. This is where Gad Morris rests in peace. And this is General Lot Smith, 1830 to 1892. He's the one that took the calling from President Brigham Young on a mission from Utah to Arizona. The road looks smooth, but they got these huge gaps. Purposely inset, I don't know, but they make the van rattle. So we're headed to camp. Going to show you how I set up my camp. Now again, this is a site that has no electricity, no sewer, does have water. Let me know what kind of an RV do you have or desire to have based on how, more importantly, why you want to travel in that type of RV. Because this is going to be shocking to some of you. We're looking for site 44. This is the trash, and this is the dump station. I actually prefer it when the dump station is not at my campsite to prevent contamination. Site 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Got a table. All right, you want to see how I set up camp? I put the van in park, and I'm at camp. Because it's a camper van, I don't need to do anything else if I don't need to, don't want to. But there is a couple more things I do, but I'm literally at camp. We'll put our camp sticker in, and then I turn the seats around. And you do that by pushing this back a little bit, pulling this up. The seat spins like that. I'll zoom out for us. Do the same thing on the other seat. Move that back a little bit. Grab the end right here. The seat spins around. And it just opens up the cab quite a bit more. Straighten that out. And now I am literally at camp. What do you think? How long did that take? Now what I'm going to do is open up the windows, get the breeze blowing because it's really nice outside. I'm actually going to put the windows down in the front for ventilation. So 1, 2, open up the slider, and this is my view for the next 12 hours, 24 hours, noon to noon. Let me get the window back here too. So flip these up. This is why I love the awning style windows, because it lets in a tremendous amount of air. I close the toilet room door. And one reason when I put the thing in park, the van in park, I don't need any connections for water. I don't need connections for electrical. I don't need connections for sewer because I do those as needed. I don't need it right now. So why go through all the fuss if you don't need it, right? Which just simplifies everything. And because of my Volta Pure 3 lithium system, an advanced energy system, I've got nearly 9,000 watts of energy ready for me at the touch of a button for the inverter. This is why it's so important to understand how and why you want to travel, which then dictates what RV systems and rig and floor plan allow you to come into camp, put your van in park, and you're done. Let me give you a quick tour, and then we'll call it a wrap. Does have water, no electric, no sewer. My van is kind of well positioned. It's pretty level. Zoom out for you, which is great. But this is my view. The rain's coming. It's a little breezy. Got the big boy here. Not bad for 18 bucks, right? Thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think. And as we always like to say, is journey on. That would be to get your journey on. And until we see you soon, peace be with you. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.